I just got back from seeing Amélie in Woking. I've never been to Woking before, but made the trip to see Amélie being put on by Italia Conti. And this is going to be my kind of impressions, just because anytime I see a show, this is what I do. So the program here gives us some interesting information about the show that I feel like I should share with you guys. So the film, which all of this is originally based on, came out in 2001, and then the musical version of it debuted on Broadway in 2017, and then there was a 2020 London production, and that was nominated for 3 Olivier Awards. And the overall plot, just to sort of give you a zoom through it, is that there's a girl who struggles to connect with other people because she's taken out of school at a young age, and the story is all about finding ways to reconnect people with possessions initially, and then reconnect people with each other, and then reconnect herself with other people. That's kind of the synopsis. And it's a really cute show, to be honest. I went into this having not actually even heard of the Broadway production or the London production. I didn't know those existed. I only know of the film, and I hadn't actually seen the film. So I was going into this thinking that this must have been like a recent adaptation or something, but no, it's a great show. It's a really well put together show. It's really good fun. There's a number at the end of Act 1, which is just so silly. It's so silly, but it's such a good way to end the act, as ends of Act 1 often tend to be. And I thought the cast really shone through the whole thing. It was really full of life in a way that was really exciting to see, and it also wasn't too messy, which I was a little surprised about, and I'll explain why in a second. So first of all, just to give you an idea of what the program looks like here, you've got the 2 Windmills cast and the Boating Party cast. There were alternate casts for this, and there are a couple of people that are in both, but not a huge number by the looks of things. And I saw the Boating Party cast. And one of the people that are in both is someone I'm actually related to, which is what put the show on my radar in the first place. That's Lily Francoise here. She's playing Philomene, I think that's how you pronounce the name, in the 2 Windmills cast, but I saw her on a different track in the Boating Party cast here, basically as one of the dance leads, I would say. Boating Party ensemble dancer is what she's sort of written in here as, but she was one of the dance leads. She was a really prominent part of a lot of the dance numbers. She has some sort of solo moments as well, especially the girl with the glass. That whole dance is her sort of moment to shine, I think, amongst several others. But anyway, the Boating Party cast is the cast I saw, and I want to just sort of rattle through a few names that I thought did especially well. The entire group were phenomenal, but Baylea Gamble, who plays Georgette, had such good comedic timing and had the whole crowd laughing several times in a really fantastic way. They nailed it, so I want to give credit to Baylea for that. I liked Sebastian Hugo as Bretado. I thought that he had this little moment where you can see an emotional turn happening in his mind, and the way that he presented that and basked in the slowness of that moment in that scene was really fitting. It felt like it was absolutely essential for that to happen, and he could have kind of pulled away from that, but instead he sort of stepped into it, and I thought that was great. I also thought Will Joel was very funny in his role as Lucien. He's selling his fruit in a very comedic manner. And Jonny Ford as well, who plays the goldfish and the garden gnome and is dancing all through the show, was also fantastic. There was something really graceful about his movement that I really enjoyed. And as much as this is nepotism speaking, I think that Lily Francoise also really deserves some credit for her dancing, specifically because sometimes you look at a person and you see a person dancing, and sometimes you look at a person and you just see dance. And I feel like Lily managed to achieve just dance being shown in front of me. Like, it was no longer a performance. She was just so engrossed in the role and in the movement and in the display of what she was doing at any given time that she kind of faded away and was gone. Like, the person was not there, and it was in a really, really positive way. And so this is my first time seeing her in a show, and I was really impressed. I thought they nailed it. That was really just spot on. So nice one, Lily. And I mean, everyone else in the cast as well. I don't want to sort of like single out just individual people. I think that there's no one in the cast who I really had any faults with. I thought that everyone really clearly was really giving it their all. And something I wanted to call out from earlier, right, is sometimes when you see a show from a dance school or a theater school or whatever, like that level of theater, sometimes you can kind of tell that it's it's held together a little bit with string and sellotape. You know what I mean? And I don't mean that to disparage any shows that I've seen in the past, but sometimes you can just tell, right? You can tell that it's not quite there, but this really felt like I just paid to go and see a show, and that is the experience that I got. It felt completely seamless. I wasn't sitting there having to kind of go, oh, well, it's school level, so no wonder it's like this. It didn't feel like that in any capacity. I thought that the band were also fantastic. I thought the way that it was staged was really fun. They had quite a lot of people. Like, I mean, you can tell there's quite a lot of people in the cast, right? And despite that, it never really felt too busy. And this is something that I've seen when I've been to see friends that have been doing community theatre shows, for example, where there's an ensemble of 35 odd people, and it's like, Jesus Christ, how many more fish do you need, right? And that's just the nature of community theatre in many ways. And I was sort of concerned maybe that in this, because they've got a lot of people that need to be in the show, it might suffer from similar kind of bloat, so to speak. But it really didn't feel like that at any time. I thought that musically, they all blended really wonderfully, and just the overall soundscape and the harmony that is present through the show was lovely. I thought that as a chorus, it was wonderful. As a choir, just fantastic and really, really pleasing to listen to. And then from a staging perspective and a choreo perspective, I never really felt like I was watching a swath of people that were messy and disoriented. It always felt fairly precise, despite the fact that at some points there really are quite a lot of people on the stage. So a lot of the production team overall, this is me sort of saying, I see what you managed to achieve here, and it really worked. I came away from this, and I would rate myself as a bit of a sort of snob when it comes to theatre, in the sense that if there are issues with a show, I'm going to sit there and be like, yeah, I do feel like that could have been better. Like, not everything is a wow for me, but I came away from this being like, yeah, that was really, really solid, and I had a really wonderful time. And they have a show tomorrow at 10 a.m., which is kind of insane, but I'm sure they're going to smash it and smash the remaining shows they have after that. So that was Amélie, put on by Italia Conti. I'm curious, are there any shows right now on the West End, off the West End, or just generally that you're really excited to see, or anything that you'd really recommend I see? Because I've been in a little bit of a rut with some of my theatre attendance recently. I saw Backstroke the other day. It was all right, but I'm sort of unsure what to sort of target next. I'm looking forward to Shucked later this year. I'm also looking forward to Here We Are when that arrives. But yeah, not sure if there's any really massive standouts that I need to get to. So would love to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. But other than that, I've been Milo. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you very soon for another reviewy, first impressions-y, recap-y type video like this one. All right, bye for now.